Just answering questions of waptek. Your cough is a worry. It is for me too. I've had this pretty much since just, I think, middle school. I have upper respiratory damage from repeated bouts of upper respiratory infections, permanently damaging my upper respiratory. I have really bad sinuses, throat, and windpipe, and bronchial tubes. I've been told that I have the lungs of both a very long distance runner and a career smoker. It can only be repaired but they don't know how. So anyway, here we go. I hope this isn't you pretending to be homeless. You seem intelligent. I'm not sure how to take that. I don't know how to pretend to be homeless. I try to pretend not to be homeless, but I acknowledge it on the net because people figure it out, and it's actually an advantage on a tactical level, on a internet tactical or social networking level. I don't have an address to dox, so it makes it a lot easier for me to get away with things. People just simply decide, you know what, we're not going to be able to do anything to this guy, so we won't try or get other people to do it because there's no point. But it's kind of funny that way. So, do you think there are legit UFO videos and photos out there? This is actually a full-on, flat-out complying with Project Blue Book statement. Out of the literally thousands of photos, films, videos these days, not only are none of them really strongly indicative of any quote-unquote extraterrestrial origin at all, but a huge number of them these days, not so much in the past, are just flat-out phonied and are found out eventually. When you find out that it's not called into question, it's just flat-out debunked, you have to stop bringing up certain things. And people say, well, it's inexplicable. Yeah, in a History Channel, Discovery Channel kind of way where they always say it's impossible to explain. You can find YouTube channels that have video after video of phenomena that science can't explain. And then when you look up the phenomena, if you can get the correct words, because they never tell you what the thing is really called, you find out it was explained a long time ago. It's not that there's nothing unexplainable. There's plenty of unexplained things. It's that people who purport to show you that something is indicative of us being ignorant of reality never bring up, and I mean this very specifically, very tactically, they exclusively bring up things that have been explained, defying the one characteristic of science that is important, that it sometimes gets shit right. Well, why would you, like one person he keeps posting, imagine being an idiot like waptek who agrees with the government. Okay, my response, imagine being someone who reflexively just says the exact opposite of whatever the government or any authority figure says, and then not letting go of it when you find out you're fucking wrong. That's a lot more stupid. Believing in the government is stupid, okay, but they don't always lie. They also don't always tell the truth. Making a blanket statement like they're always lying or they're always telling the truth is really stupid. And also, same thing if you assume your personal experience, mine personal experience, anybody's, is 100% infallible. That's bullshit. And by concordance, as they say, in one realm, by consensus in science, we're able to find out things that are likely true. Not perfect, but a whole hell of a lot better than gripping tightly to your personal beliefs and feelings and not listening when someone explains to you, dude, it's real easy to check this. I mean, it's not that hard to check out any of these things. Next time you see a video on YouTube that says, these are things that science can't explain, every fucking one of them will be explainable or just a falsified video. Well, what about the new stuff that comes out all the time? Wait 2 months and then it's explained. Well, science explains things. That's its fucking job. But they keep explaining away the mysterious stuff that makes life interesting, and they're a killjoy. Yes, science is a killjoy most of the time. And then someone invents, out of their ass, quantum physics, and it actually works. I love the origin of quantum physics and a bunch of other things are just, well, we'll do this as a placeholder. We don't really know if it works. Then a couple of months later, like, oh shit, that's really true? That actually made the equation work? You know. I mean, it really isn't. The person who actually came up, the persons who came up with the equations and ideas for quantum physics and to explain time-space really didn't want those to be the answers. They just made up an equation to make it work right so they could try to find out what was messing up their equations. And they found out what it was messing it up is they were just wrong about the very nature of reality, and oh, fuck it. So yeah, it's one of the reasons I don't like it either. Nobody really likes it. It's like finding out you have brain cancer, and it's operable. Can't I just be inoperable and not have to go through the surgery and the drills and shit and radiation. I mean, it really, the one pathway is much easier than the other. And the easiest pathway isn't what we get. I've also considered the guy captured on video may not be the killer in the Delphi murders, as this is referring to. But if that guy wasn't him, why hasn't he come forward? And then I'm going to answer that before I get to the rest of your question. The reason he hasn't is his face has been, or his appearance has been splattered all over the internet, and coming forward would do him no good. He wouldn't clear up anything. He would just be, I'm sorry, but some of you out there thought that Jesus at the Las Vegas shooting was the shooter and started harassing somebody not related to him because someone showed the wrong picture. That guy went through shit. Every time anything happens, a witch hunt happens. The Delphi murders are not solved, and that guy on the bridge may not have done it. And more importantly, if that was me, I wouldn't come forward and say that was me on the bridge. What the fuck reason would I would do that? It's not out of the goodness of the person's heart. They would be subject to a witch hunt because they were there that day. There were probably many people there that day. They didn't get photographed or filmed. There were a lot of people there that day. And of course, you have to say to yourself, first of all, if you're a male and part of the major population, male, white, over 30, let's say, would you come forward and say, I was there that day? Maybe one of the witnesses, like they were talking about, maybe one of the witnesses did it. They don't know who it is. They can't figure it out. It's an area that wasn't untraveled. It was a place for people to go on hikes. I wouldn't tell anybody if it was me. That would be crazy. Why? And any lawyer that tells you you should turn yourself in when they can't find you because they just want to witness is a stupid lawyer. You're not getting anything out of it, number one. Let's just do that straight ahead. Next, the highest likelihood, because they're so desperate that they're willing to put out edited versions of films and photos, because that's the best they have, I can guarantee you, if that's the best they can do, they will grasp at any straw and throw anybody in jail. I wouldn't show up either. But anyway, perhaps law enforcement because law enforcement has pretty much named him in the main POI, fear of false accusations. I don't know. The guy is someone's son, father, uncle, cousin, meaning someone surely recognizes him. And if I saw my relative in that photo, I wouldn't tell anybody because they would be in extreme danger. Sorry. I'm going to be I'm pulling the reality card here. No. Nobody would come forward. You'd be a fool to do it. This is actually something that's happened in the past. Someone said, have you seen this person? We want him for questioning because we think he's a witness to something. I forgot what it was years ago. It wasn't about a bombing or anything. It was just an armed robbery. The problem was there was no witnesses of the armed robbery because everybody was dead. They didn't tell anybody that. I mean, the information leaked out, but by the time anything happened, the guy who was on camera 2 blocks away, walking the wrong direction, showed up. So they tried to pin it on him. No, you don't cooperate under those conditions. You just don't. Unless you literally have a third party from another country where they can't do anything to him or torture him to get the information, say, you have to accept that he would be a witness, you are legally forbidden from prosecuting him, and you have to state factually over and over again he didn't do it. They're not going to do that. They don't know what happened, so they don't know that someone's not guilty. That being said, you'd think someone would come forward and say, hey, that's my son, dad, uncle, especially if he's not guilty. Do you really believe not being guilty has ever prevented anybody from being strung up? There's a type of reality that people think that exists where things that are real and true and factual matter. This isn't one of them. I am one of these people that believes that human beings figuring out probably how the universe started with a Big Bang and that sort of thing is extremely useful. But it doesn't matter if it's factual or real or true or provable, which none of this really is. I mean, it is kind of, sort of, but I don't claim that it's true or factual or provable. I just claim it's our best bet right now that we figured it out. And every year we find less and less information to contradict it. But other people would rather have me literally shot dead and murdered in public under hail of bullets for actually suggesting that this happened more than 6,000 years ago. Do you really believe we're in a rational world where anything factual matters to people who are emotional or afraid? being uncertain about things, being ignorant of something, being fearful. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. Anger. These four horsemen of the apocalypse. Being ignorant of things, being afraid of things, being angry at things. Deceptive behavior from all of the leaders. Every politician is like that. Every time a court case is prosecuted or defended, neither side is required to claim that they're going to be truthful when they're working as the prosecutor, defense, or even the judge. They do not have to take a vow that they will tell the truth. You'd be a fool to assume that telling the truth has any real value in this world sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. But if he's not guilty, this is the thing. If someone's not guilty, they would have no trouble doing this. All right, I will hold you to the same standard. Next time you're pulled over by the police, just tell them everything and see if they're not going to try to twist it into something to hold you for because they feel like it. I live in a tent. 3 blocks from here, I can get a hold of 2 different sizes of pipe diameter that I could put together to make a slam fire shotgun. It would take no effort. I literally put the pieces together and then put them back down. Eventually I picked up one of them, the smaller one that would actually work as a shotgun barrel badly. It's the wrong diameter, it would not work, and it would break. It would be literally something even I wouldn't turn into a shotgun, and I'm the kind of guy who actually talks about doing this. And it would be a $20 hunk of pipe if it wasn't rusted completely through. And originally it was used by someone to make something to hang, clothes on. It was a hanger in a closet someplace that they tore up. Took that thing and used it to do some reinforcing on some pipe that happens to be just, actually fairly large compared to it. Jam it in there so that the person who cut those posts couldn't cut them again. But I was aware when I did that, and I was even reminded by people, that when I held the 2 pipes together after I cut it in half to take care of 2 fence posts, that it looked exactly like a double-barrel shotgun, so I stored it on the bike in such a way it did not. No one looking at me doing that would assume I was up to good. It would be no good. And more importantly, any police officer would have said, it's an excuse. I'll hold you for the night. You'll get a hot shower and maybe a new boyfriend. And that would have been it. It doesn't matter that it's non-factual. It doesn't matter that it's not true. The only thing that matters is someone can get away with saying something and get something done that way. So if somebody was not guilty and photographed in the area and nobody found them this many months or years later, and they haven't found any way of doing it, I mean, literally, they've checked every credit card machine, every record, everywhere. If a person came through in a car and didn't use a credit card within 50 miles of the location and didn't need to fill up their gas tank and didn't turn on a cell phone or just didn't bother using it during the time they were there, there might not be any record of them being there. People don't video and audio record every damn thing. This is maybe an area where there weren't any real CCTV recordings. If you knew you were the person in that film, in that thing, wouldn't you just throw away the entire outfit you were wearing, never wear it again, including the shoes, and just wear a completely different outfit the rest of the time? I wear all black. I blend into things. I'm lost in photos, except for my stupid pumpkin face like this. And I wear these glasses. They're extremely distinctive. You could pick me out of a lineup from Orbit. But if it was me, I wouldn't be wearing those glasses anymore, and I'd be wearing pink and puce everywhere. I'd be the most flamboyantly heterosexual man in Portland, Oregon. Truly, I wouldn't do it. And anybody who says, "Oh, I do it," I know that I have nothing to hide. Everyone who said I have nothing to hide is either a fool or is full of bravado or something else. But I do thank you for your question. But no, that will never happen. That's wishful thinking. And if the person is smart enough to ask a lawyer, the lawyer will say, first of all, you never said that to me. Second, you will never say that again. Third, you will change your appearance and you will go into your own witness protection program and you'll burn all your old photos and you're erasing your Facebook. That's what you do, because he probably isn't guilty, or he is, but they don't know what they're looking for. And they haven't released any evidence. And this is the scary part. I'm going to say this in the video and I'll be done with it. The Delphi murders it's a dead end at this point. And it's very, very new. If they had any evidence besides that photo and the audio, they would have released it. They don't have any data. And that means something really terrible did happen to those 2 kids. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.